Welcome back, Rich Mind. It's your boy Reno coming back to you with another video. And today's topic, y'all, it's gonna be 5 signs God has a bigger plan. Yes, sir. 5 signs God has a bigger plan. Now, before I get into this video, man, I need you to understand something. Right now, you looking for a way out. If you watching this video, you looking for the next thing that's to happen in your life. You're looking for the next option, the next opportunity. Look, I came to tell you, prophesy, and let you know and release you up the spirit of feeling like ain't nothing gonna happen for you. I came to tell you, God has a bigger plan for your life. Yes, sir. God has something bigger and something better in store for you. Now, look, I'm not no preacher. I'm not no pastor. I'm just a vessel. And this is just me following my spirit to tell you. That's why I made this video. I want you to understand something. You watching this for a reason. You watching this for a particular reason. You watching this for something specific in your life. I don't know what's about to happen for you. I don't know how big it is, but I do know that God has something real big, big, big for you. Yes, sir. And I want you to understand something, man. Your blessing is for you. Can't nobody take it, shake it, break it, or manipulate it. What's for you is for you. And it's a big blessing. It's going to be a lot of people that try to stop you. It's going to be a lot of people along your journey that's looking at what God has for you and looking at your greatness and looking at your light. Looking at your light ain't going to try to stop you. But realize God still has a bigger plan. Yes, sir. Can't nobody stop you of what you got that God has for you except for you. You the only person that can get in your way. And sometimes you got to get out your own way. God has a bigger plan for you. It's a bigger plan, man. And this is deep, so don't take this video lightly, nor do not take these signs lightly. And if you have at least 3 of these signs, this video is just for you. Yes, sir. Tune in. All right, y'all. So the first sign, the number 1 sign is going to be God is closing doors to open new ones. Yes, sir. I'm going to say it louder for the people in the back. God is closing doors to open up bigger ones, to open up better ones. And see, I need you to understand this, y'all. As you continue to go through this journey called life, it's going to be some opportunities that you're going to want to take, that you're going to feel like it's the best move. You're going to feel like, man, if I'm not doing this, I'm losing. If I'm not doing this, what am I doing? If I'm not doing this, I'm not going to get to my destiny, man. I got to take this opportunity. And I can't tell you, no, you don't. No, you do not. You don't got to take every single opportunity. Yes, it is easier said than done. Yes, I understand that. But in terms of when you get blessed by the devil, it's going to be temporarily. Yes, sir. But see, when God bless you, it's going to be for longevity. It's going to be for a long time and not only a good time, right? So I need you to realize sometimes God will close doors to open up new ones. Give me an example, Reno. I still don't understand it. Okay, cool. You've been at this job for the longest. This job has been taking you through pure hell. This job don't allow you to have time with your family. This job is barely paying you. This job is not giving you the attention that you need. This job is treating you like you just a regular, ordinary person, and you done been on that job for years. Yes, sir. You done been on that job for years. I'm talking about you done miss graduations. You done miss funerals. You done miss holidays, occasions. You done miss certain things for this job, and they can treat you like they can care less. They can treat you like you can care less. And so what happens is you done start doing interviews elsewhere. Matter of fact, you probably ain't even did an interview. It's somebody saying, hey man, it's the job that I know. They paying X amount of dollars. They allow you to have this amount of time with your family. They allow you to do this, that, and the third. And you like, oh, for real? That's God closing a door to open up a new one. Okay, cool. You still ain't got me. Let me give you another one. Okay. All right. So let's just say you inside of a relationship. You inside of a relationship. And this relationship, right, it's long overdue for y'all to break up. Long overdue. But what happens is he allow a person to leave you, walk out your life. What you gonna do then? You gonna beg them back? What you gonna do then? You gonna keep calling their phone? What you gonna do? God done closed that door to open up a new one. Maybe he brought a new significant other in your life. Maybe he brought a new friend in your life. Maybe he allowed you to find that gift so you can start serving it to the world. Maybe he allowed you to find your calling, to take your mind off that old relationship. He closed that old door to open up a new one. Yes, sir. And so when you start understanding all the perspectives of it, realize this may not be the end of something good. This can probably be the beginning of something great. Yes, sir. Number 2, y'all, let's move to the next one. All right, so number 2. This kind of go with number 1, but I still made it separately, and you'll know why. Number 2 is God is removing certain relationships. So not only a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, but maybe your relationship like a business relationship. It can be an associate relationship, situationship, any, like whatever ship is on, right? But God is removing certain relationships that don't mean you no good, that mean you harm, or that's just simply not doing anything for you. You can be around, like for example, you can be around certain people who don't have your best interests at heart. They snakes. You can't trust them, and they sincerely don't care about what happens with you, good or bad, right? God will sometimes remove certain people away from you. He'll remove certain relationships. He'll remove certain people out your life, right? And you see how I connect with the other one, but the reason why I said it different because it don't got to be a girlfriend-boyfriend relationship. It can be a business. It can be an associate. It can be a partnership, right? It can be whatever the case is. I give y'all an example, right? It's my real life. So I had a homie. I had been friends with him as, man, I'll say we've been friends for like 8 years. And so I thought this was one of the friendships that was like gonna carry over until we get old. But what happened was, and I give y'all, I don't want to give y'all this super long story, but I'll just say this. We started out being friends, right, in college. And as we were friends, I got certain things from him, he got certain things from me. What I mean by certain things is certain information. He got from me, certain information I got from him. It kind of started off like a mentor-mentee relationship on both ends. I mentored him in my profession. He mentored me in his profession. And so it kind of grew, and as we leveling up, it's like, bro, we peers. I'm not your mentor, you're not my mentor. And so we became friends. But the thing is, he was older than me. So it's always gonna be this thing when a person is older than you, like what do you know? Even if they know you smart, even if they know you wise, it's always gonna be this what do you know type energy, right? And so time progressed, right? We've had little friendship quarrels, but it was never nothing major to where we were like no friendship. It got to a point to where I said, look, bro, we can do a podcast together. Let's do the podcast. Now, mind you, we had already did this before, but things just kind of fell out of place. But I had a change of heart, change of mind, and I say, you know what, man? Let's revisit this again, and let's just try to do a podcast together. I said, look, man, let's do a podcast. Yeah, man, we can do it. We can do the podcast. And I said, look, man, let's split everything 50-50. We do everything 50-50. He said, all right, cool, bet. Now, this is what I will say. And y'all can drop in the comments of how y'all felt about this situation. But I'm making a point. Once I did more research, I said, if we do 50-50, it's going to be like a stalemate. Nobody had, and mind you, this was my podcast originally. But the only reason I brought him in 50-50 so he can feel comfortable about the deal. Say, look, man, I just want you to feel comfortable about it. It was my podcast. I created the podcast, intellectual property, the whole nine. So I was going to give him half of what was mine already. But when I did the research from different lawyers, different law firms, they said it's one of the worst things you can ever do is start a business 50-50. Do a business 50-50. Nobody would have the last say so. It'll always be a stalemate. And you will end up just being nobody's, right? And I said, all right, man, I want to avoid that. So I said, yo, let's just, how about he take the 49, I get the 51, right? I get the 51, he get the 49. I brought it to his attention. At first he was like, I mean, I get it. I ain't really rocking with it. But he said, you know what? It's all good. So I said, okay, cool. I said, you good? I explained everything to him. He said, I'm good. I said, all right, cool. I'm gonna get the paperwork over to you, and then so you can sign it. And so let's do this podcast the real way. Didn't want to sign the paperwork, and I get it. I understand it, but I'm willing to give this man. I'm willing to give this man 49% of a business that he didn't even create. I'm willing to give him 49% of a business that he didn't even create. The only reason I'm taking 51 is just so we don't have any problems, anything that's gonna detour us from being able to move forward with the business. Because it's still a friendship, but it was still a business. And I wanted to kind of separate our friendship from the business. And once it got to the time from him to sign the papers or whatever, he said, look, I looked over the paperwork, it was cool, but I had a few objections. And long story short, he just didn't want to do it. But he never wanted to do the podcast anyway. Because he told me, he said, man, you know what, man, I really didn't want to do a podcast anyway. I'm like, all right, bro, but you could have just told me that. We could have still had our friendship. And it would have been cool. Yeah, man, but I didn't know you were going to get the paperwork and all that. I was like, look, bro, I just want to get the paperwork. So everything that we are talking about verbally is right here on black and white. I'm not going to mention, bro, I'm not going to fuck you. I'm not going to put you in a position to where you're not getting the deal that you want to get, or you're not happy in what we're getting. Bro, I'm giving you 49%. Reno, what does it have to do with anything? I'm about to tell y'all. What I'm saying is this. Number one, he never wanted to do the podcast. Cool, I get it. But we end up losing our friendship behind that. And what I realize is sometimes God will remove a relationship out your life. He will remove a friendship out your life. And that's something that I understood. So, what am I saying? I am saying this. When God has a bigger plan for your life, some people just got to go. Everybody can't go. And it's crazy because right after our friendship kind of fell out, and here's the thing, it wasn't like a F you, forget you. It was none of that. It was an understanding of like, okay, cool, I get it. I see how you moving. Okay, okay, cool. And it was on both ends. And we never talked a day after that. Ever since. We haven't talked a day after that ever since. And it's crazy because I started getting clients after that. I started getting people who wanted to be on the podcast after that. And he was not a part of it. I wasn't tripping on it. I would love for him to be a part of it. But even if he didn't want to be a part of the podcast, I would have respected if he would have said, you know what, bro? Hey, man, I'm cool on the offer, bro. I got too much going on, whatever the case is. But we still homies. That's cool. But how I knew it was time for him to leave my life was because we had no conversation after that. He had no conversation after that. And so I say to you, when God has a bigger plan for you, sometimes the people that's inside of your life or the relationship that's unnecessary inside of your life, they will be removed, obliterated, gone. Capiche? All right, y'all, next one. So, number 3, God gave you a new vision. Yes, sir. God gave you a new vision. What do you mean by that, Reno? For instance, y'all, if y'all don't know, I started out doing music. That's all I was into. I was doing strictly music. I've been doing music since I wrote my first song at 11 years old. I recorded my first song at 13 in the studio in Hoboken, Georgia. And then I started recording in my room from 13 to about 17. And then from 17 to like in my 20s, early 20s, I was in the studio professional, out of here. Wrote my first hit song at like, it's subjective. But I wrote my first hit song at like 18. Three Wheel Motion. It was on the radio, Hot 107.9. It hit, North Florida, South Georgia. It went crazy down south. One of my biggest records. What I'm saying is, sometimes God will give you a new vision. To this day, I still can rap my butt off. I still got hits that I want to give to y'all. I got music even in the comments. Y'all can click the link. Y'all click the link and you will see the music that I have in the comments. What I'm saying is that God can give you a new vision. I never thought that I would be sitting here speaking to y'all. I never thought that I would be, on stages speaking. I never thought that I would be people would look at me as a motivation speaker. I thought people were gonna see me as like how they look at Lil Baby, how they look at Lil Durk. I thought my music was that dope to where I felt like, bro, this is it. This is it. And God will give you a new vision. He'll hit you with a vision so hard to where he'll start closing doors. Things that should have worked will not work. I mean, people who you can just simply say, hey man, here's the money. It'll get to a point where God will make them people not accept your money. Because he's trying to get you to open up your eyes, open up your ears, listen, see, because I got a new vision for you. And in order for you to get to the destination, you're going to have to look at the new roadmap. You're looking at an old roadmap. And so sometimes when a clear indication that God has a bigger plan for your life is when he give you a new vision. Never thought that I'd be reaching the people that I reach. Never thought that I'd be reaching millions of people just with my voice and speaking and with my messages. Never thought that I'd be on stage and speaking. Never thought that I'd be on YouTube speaking to y'all. Never thought that. I always thought that I'd be performing musically. But God gave me a new vision. And it doesn't mean that you can't pursue some of those things, but I always use this analogy. I use it like this. You want to go to the movies. Mom don't got no problem with that. Mom, can I go to the movies? Yeah, I don't got no problem with that. But clean your room first. I look at it like God want me to clean my room first. And honestly, I've developed a passion and I feel like this is my calling. So honestly, I don't even have a desire to go to the movies no more. You know what I mean? Like, even though I still want to be able to give. And by the way, for those who I lost, the movies is an analogy for the music. So it's only an analogy. But I still want to be able to get my music out and, let y'all know like what it was and what it is. And I want y'all to explore every talent that I have. I want y'all to explore every piece of greatness that I have to display. But the case intended is that God gave me a new vision. He gave me a new vision. And once I pursued that, lights cut on that quick. And it's the same thing with you. Sometimes God will give you a new vision. All right. So number 4, y'all. Number 4. You feel like everything is moving slow. Yes, sir. You feel like everything is moving slow. You feel like you're not getting to the destination quick enough. And that can simply be, that's a quick fix. All you need is a little bit more patience. That's all you need. You just need a little bit more patience. You need a little bit more patience. It's a virtue. And you need that, right? Patience is going to put you in a position where you can work while you wait, but you're not anxious for nothing. It says, be anxious for nothing. Be anxious for nothing. And that's what you got to do, man. Don't be anxious for anything because you got to know that it's already there. Can't nobody take what you got. Can't nobody take what you got. Ain't nobody prepared for the spot that God has for you. Ain't nobody is even able to fulfill your shoes or walk in your shoes and fulfill your position. It's already for you. And so when you start feeling like everything is going slow, it's just because your anxiety, right, is making you feel like, man, it ain't gonna never happen. You so anxious to know what the future holds. And your depression is making you think about the past, right? Your depression is making you feel like, man, I ain't gonna be good enough. Man, why is it happening? Why haven't it happened yet? Man, it ain't gonna be there for me. But you anxious for nothing. You depressed about nothing. You gotta understand, just because it's feeling like it's going slow doesn't mean that you would never receive it. It's just like taking a 5-6 hour trip. Yeah, that trip, you may go to sleep, wake back up, go to sleep, wake back up. You may look and see that you inside a town full of cities, and you may look and see that you inside of a town full of nothing but hay. You in the country, agriculture, cotton, horses, whatever. But you gotta know, you're gonna get to the destination. You just gotta wait it out. So right now you feel like everything is moving slow. But really, God is just preparing that table for you. Yes, sir. Amongst all your enemies. And you got to understand, it's a bigger plan in the hands of the big man. Yes, sir. And number 5, y'all, this is the last one, man. It's the last one. You passed the test. Now, I know I always speak about you got to pass the test, you got to do this, you got to do that. But no, you actually passed the test. Meaning you are literally about to be promoted, or you already got promoted. You just passed the test. So if you pass the test and you haven't received what you think that you should have right now in your hands, it's coming. It's on the way. If not, it's already here. You just got to be ready and available when the package comes to your door. You got to be ready and willing to receive that package. Which means you still gonna have to have some faith. Because you passed the test. And just because you don't get it right now doesn't mean that it's delayed gratification. Just because it's not in your hands right now today does not mean that it's delayed gratification. Sometimes you just gotta wait. Sometimes you just gotta work while you wait. But it's on the way. And I need you to understand, you just passed the test. What was the test, Reno? You just passed the test of that eviction. You just passed the test of that repossession. You just passed the test of not falling for that temptation. You just passed the test of not giving in to temptation. You just passed the test of not moving so fast. You just passed the test. Whatever that obstacle was, whatever the enemy put before you, whatever that was, you passed that test. They say a new level, new devil, right? You beat that new devil. You passed the test. So now guess what? You got to go up to the next level. It's already ordained. It's decreed. It's time for you to go up to the next level. And everybody won't like that and understand that. But these are the 5 signs that God has a bigger and better plan for you. Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all make sure y'all ring my bell, man. Join the Patreon, right? Not only will you ring my bell and subscribe, but make sure you try to join the Patreon to where you can get specific and specified videos just for you. I thank y'all so much. Y'all make sure y'all hit the links in my bio, whether y'all want a book, t-shirt, whatever the case is. I got a lot of value to add to y'all. I thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Keep a rich mentality. Peace.